what's behind Jenna's head? What's the
That's the freshman year went gold, and then there's the Along of the Night, and then my mom gave me this painting, this weird ass painting from the cottage. Yeah.
Was it one of those things where she came over and she's like, "You need some artwork, man. Like, can you just live like an adult for a little bit?"
She had it in her hand. She was like gonna throw it into the dump. I was like, "What is that? I like the light on that thing. I don't really like the painting. I just like the cool old light on it. That's the only thing that's cool."
How are you guys?
Great. I mean, it's been a weird time, but we're doing great. It's been a cool couple weeks.
Yeah.
Is it so? The last couple of weeks has all been prep and release of the album and getting ready and having to talk to people like me. My apologies.
I love it.
We love it. We miss you. It's pretty much been that. It was like a hype, like week going into it, and then it happened, and then our faces were on Young and Dundas billboards like all over, and it was amazing. And then Saturday came, and we were all just dead silent.
It's just so crazy how it's like,
it's a build up, and then there's one day that's exciting, and then it's all gone.
It's kind of like, because Boxing Day is still cool, but December 27th is like, well, what do I do now? Do I just sit in my pajamas all day, or what happens?
Yeah, you just feel like ashamed of yourself because you eat what?
And so you eat more to be more ashamed of yourself, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What was the prep differently? Because going into a COVID album, nobody knows what to do. What kind of different things did you do to get the word out that you normally wouldn't have or haven't done before?
I mean, I feel like through this time, everyone has kind of been a little more attentive because they're looking for something. They're looking for something to take their mind off what is happening in the world right now. So we just made sure that we felt confident in ourselves to record this album by ourselves in Stuart's living room.
It was all
that's where this was recorded, right? Where you guys are right now?
Yeah. And every little step of it, like the songs, obviously the recording is the most important thing, but like even choosing the photos and getting the branding right, because we've had so much time on our hands, we were like able to like really plunge our hands into this thing and actually make it our own like vibe and brand through the entire like thing. We got to choose photos for each song, which we never done for like the teasers and stuff leading up to the album. And we got to go back to the University of Guelph, and we both like pretty much, that was the last place that we like were living when life was normal before we became musicians, and it was just like so nostalgic, the entire experience of it.
It's so true.
Did you both go to university there?
We did.
Yeah.
Really? So there are, if the walls could talk at the, I don't know, what's the Guelph bar called? Or
Trappers
or Frank's
or the Ranch.
The Ranch.
Yeah. But
it was like the Ranch.
I got kicked out of the Ranch for life in first year. Literally for life. They're like, you just can't come back. They had my photo.
You have to tell them why. You can't just
they had my photo on the wall. I threw snowballs at the bus.
That's it?
And I think I snuck in when I was under.
Wow.
Yeah, so they got me good. They nailed me down, took a photo, put it up on the wall.
His photo's on the wall, like
never
this
to
guy
be returned. This man, his name, everything. And then we had a show like 2 weeks after I got banned for life. So I was like, I need to talk to somebody.
We had a show at the Ranch.
At the place,
after he got banned.
So I went over. I called the guy. I was like, "Can I just talk to you? I need to explain the situation." And
there were snowballs. There was a bus. What did you want me to do? Like
multiple beers.
So we met, and he was like, "Okay." He's like, "You're good to play. You can do it. And you're welcome back to this bar." He's like, "But you're on very thin ice."
See, at least it was you that got yourself banned, because when we were using fake IDs to get into the University of Calgary bar, which was the Den at the time, still is, we would get other people banned. So then they couldn't go, but they didn't know why.
Oh my gosh. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, so I think my buddy Ryan Hugendam is still banned for life from the Den because of what my buddy Seth did, and has no idea why.
You go all the way out there ready to go and get turned away.
You're in years. Why can't I not come in? What did I do?
I'm sober.
Jenna, you never got kicked out anywhere, Jenna?
Well, no, I can talk my way out of a lot of things, you see.
You couldn't save your brother that night? Like, no.
I was not there that night.
I think every girl that we were with got led onto the bus, and they're like, "Sorry guys, you're done." I was like, "What? Like, you guys it's freezing cold." They're like, "Too bad." They like shut the thing, so I made a like ice ball basically and hucked it.
It's like, Elf when he's throwing the snowballs.
That was Stu.
Exactly what I looked like.
What were you guys taking in university before this started?
I was taking marketing management. I have 5 courses left, and then I get Like,
You should
I'm done.
finish.
Are you gonna do it or no?
People keep saying that, but it's hard for me to like, I'm like, what if I go back and I don't even know how to talk?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I was going for science. I was like trying to become a chiropractor, like my dad.
Seriously.
That was the
Oh,
plan.
man, I was at the chiropractor this morning. That would have been awesome. You could have cracked my back.
Oh,
Don't you love a
it's the best.
chiropractor?
It's the best.
Yeah. It's the best.
So did both of you, neither of you finished?
Neither.
No.
Because I'm about 10 courses short from a communications degree at the University of Calgary as well. So we are all in the same club.
Bunch
See,
of
but you
dropouts.
skipped ahead. You continued in what you were doing.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we'll go with that. But I can't ever, when I get fired from radio, because it will happen again, I can't go downtown to try and get a real job and say, here's my radio diploma. Can I have a, they're like, no, you don't, what? That's not even school.
But sometimes experience.
Yeah.
You
And
got the experience.
you're like famous in that town now. You can do
Yeah.
anything you want to do.
No, you would think so, right? No, I don't think so.
I think you are.
I have to tell you, listening to the album, so much fun, but the fact that even before I heard it, I saw Gramps' intro, I'm like, I'm already excited. So how does that come? How do you guys decide to put that in?
Oh my gosh.
We've had that audio for so long because there was going to be, originally the idea for us was to have a reality TV show around our family, and we were going to be the musical aspect of it, like way back when, like when I was like 14 years old. And our grandpa is like the one who closes out the entire first pilot of this reality TV show by talking about us singing and what he thinks of it and everything like that. So we've had that audio and that footage for so long, we just didn't know what the right time was to put it out. And finally this like just seems so right. Like he kind of just kicks it off. We've lost both of our grandfathers in the last 2 years. And
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, and he's saying like how he can't stand loud music, and then it goes bam into Not Gonna Not loud.
Oh,
music.
it was perfect. I was like, what a perfect, transition into the new single. It was just fantastic. But then there's a song right at the end, and it sort of is a great opening and closing of the same sort of idea, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
That's where I'm from, right? Am I thinking?
Are you talking about Godspeed?
Godspeed, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was also huge for us. That happened to just. It was our other grandpa. No, so not the one speaking at the beginning, the other one.
Mm-hmm.
He had passed away, and we had 2 days off. I'm not kidding you. Last year.
It was after Dean Dallas. It was like the day we got back from Dean Dallas, and then he passed away, and then we had like 3 days before we went to Nashville, and the funeral was the day before we went to Nashville for a month.
And so Stu and I on the way to Nashville were like, we need to write a song for him,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what it is. And every write we went into that whole trip, we pitched the idea, but everyone was kind of like, oh, it's kind of sentimental. And I don't know, those don't really get cut very often. So we were like, okay, fine. The right people will want to do it. So we wrote with who was
Allison Veltz
Allison Veltz
and Alex Klein.
and Alex Klein, two amazing females. And we just wrote that song, and we all cried after writing it because it was talking about bigger things.
Yep.
All of us in that room, and then we got to the final verse and we all just couldn't speak after. So
First listen, I choked up, and especially with the Gramps intro at the start, I was like, what are you guys doing to me? Why are you doing that?
I know, we were like, why are we doing this?
No,
But-
yeah, the Reklaws have to get serious sometimes. As much as we all just want to do drinking songs the
Yeah.
entire time, we have to try to pull the heartstrings of the fans.
and family is just so important to us. So to know that those stories are real stories about us and our families is like, that's all we want.
It's so beautiful and such a great tribute. I wanted to ask, because every single time a big hit song hits the radio, the artist says this: it was the last song I cut for the album. The album was done, and then I cut this album. What was the last song to get on Sophomore Slump?
I think it was Your Side of a Broken Heart.
It was Your Side of a Broken Heart.
I think that's track 6 on the album, and we as far as production goes, we had written with High Valley, which was great. Brad was so awesome that day, and we had loved the pop side of that song, but production wasn't quite there. It was the last one that was finally mailed in there.
They're like, it's fine, if we don't get it, we won't put it on. Then I was like, we need to put it on.
We did it though. That was the last. That was the one we were like, are we gonna put it? Is it gonna be cool enough? And then finally, our producer Todd Clark just took it out of the flames and made it into what it is.
Yeah.
It's so good, because I have, other than the ones that have been shipped to radio, a top 3. Do you want to know them?
Yes.
Please.
Okay, so it's, where am I here? I'm Down. I love that song. Your Side of a Broken Heart.
All right.
And Got Me Missing.
Wow, amazing. That's an interesting 3. I love it.
Does it tell you a little bit more about me or no?
No, I haven't heard that 3 ever.
No.
Out of everybody's like top 2 or 3 choices.
I feel like Got Me Missing hits people in a way that's like if you've lived that, people are like, I like that song.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I don't know, maybe you have lived stuff like that.
Listen, this isn't about Greg. This is about the Reklaws. We need to go back to you.
For Greg.
It was just for you, Greg.
So is there, out of those 3 that I mentioned, because we know the ones that are at radio, which one is both of your favorite? Jenna, which one out of those 3 do you like the most?
Oh, goodness.
You're welcome for that question.
I'm going to say Your Side of a Broken Heart. I don't know, and Down and Got Me Missing, because I don't know. I think they're all so different. Every single one of them are different. So I think Your Side of a Broken Heart, because we fought for that one so hard.
Mm-hmm.
And the story, I think, is really true to me. I think that everyone's been through love and everyone's experienced, I mean, maybe not, but people have experienced like different versions of it.
Mm-hmm.
And to think you're always wondering what that other person is doing after it's over. And
thanks to Instagram, we can always figure it out.
Exactly.
Thanks, Instagram. That's fantastic.
That's true.
The worst.
At least you can mute people now, though. That's important.
Oh, that's my new favorite button. We're still friends, but I don't want to see anything about you. Stu, which one out of those 3 would you pick?
I love all 3. As Jenna said, Down was the one, as far as like Jenna-led songs, my led songs, was the one that we were skeptical of for cutting, but our producer Todd Clark made it so it's very progressive, it's very pop sounding.
But I'm down.
Yeah, and the fact that our one guy we write with named Travis Wood, who just loves like everything country, just like as country as it could possibly be, he heard that song, he's like, oh man, the production's been ruined. Like it's just so poppy and so piano driven and just not, and there's no banjo on it. I was like, I love that. Because he hated it, it made me like it even more. It's good.
Sophomore Slump, obviously there's a meaning behind why you called it that. Was it something you guys were consciously worried about? I mean, boom, out of the gates, so much success. You guys are everywhere, playing shows, hit songs on the radio. And they always say you've got, your lifetime to make your first album and about 30 seconds to make your second. So.
Yeah, I mean, the pressure of that was very huge because that did go so well for us. I mean, there's the gold record thingy, that thing.
Yeah. Beside a gorgeous painting.
And then also a gorgeous painting that almost was in the dump. So, yeah, I don't know. It was a lot of pressure, but that's just pressure we put on ourselves. I think our fans are amazing and they have always supported what we put out up to this point. So.
And this year itself has been a bit of a slump for everybody in its own way. And it is our sophomore album. So Sophomore Slump is an actual thing that kids who go to school experience because they're like, wow, first year was a joke. I just had this card that had all the money and I just buy everything I need with it. And then you go and you have to go to get groceries and find a student house with people you hate. And you're like, oh my God, what am I doing at school again? And that's where the idea of Sophomore Slump came from, because it's basically, this is our outcome of our slump.
I love that so much. So when you finish the album, because I always find it so curious, because I love to listen to new music and stuff in my car. And so when you finish the album, the first test run or the first test runs to see how we'll consume it as your fans, do you listen to it all in the studio? Do you go to your car? Do you go to your family's place? Do you go to the cabin that I see so much of online that I just want to be there every day? Where do you listen?
I think honestly, the car is the best place to listen.
Yeah.
Because it does give you a sense of when you're listening to the radio, this is what it's going to sound like. Although we do have to say, hearing on the radio sounds better.
Sonically, for sure.
It just sounds better. I don't know what it is.
Whatever it is, the bandwidth.
Yeah, so hearing it in the car is important because, I don't know, it's really just living it as if how everyone else is going to hear it. So
you get magic like this. That's the Reklaws on Country 105. And you're like, oh, that guy just made the song sound so beautiful.
You're kidding.
We have a segment on this Barn 49 YouTube page that we're doing this for. It's called My First Time on the Radio. Where were you guys? What song was it the first time you ever heard the Reklaws on the radio?
It was Hometown Kids. Mm-hmm. And I was going through the Starbucks drive-thru by myself. And I was like, it's on. And then the girl's handing me the coffee and I was like, this is is me. This is me. And she's like, great. And I was like, no, you don't understand. It was so nuts. It was crazy.
I was working at a pool company that summer, the summer that we put out Hometown Kids, and I was the liner guy because I have like a big lung capacity, I guess. So they're like, okay, so you take this little glue and this like set up this weird thing to go like fix the cuts in the liners at the bottom of the pool, because if you don't have to drain them, it's a lot less money for everyone. So I would go down with like scuba gear and like be like fixing it, and during fixing it, one of my bosses hit me with like the brush, like for the pool, and I was like, what? So I came up and I was like, what is it? He's like, isn't this you? And I was like, cause we are those born. I was like, oh my God. I was like swimming in the pool. I was like, this is so dope. He goes, yeah, go back down. I'm like, no, what?
Let me finish the song.
It's my first time.
That is incredible. When you said you worked for a pool company, I just started to think about you as somebody's pool boy, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yuck. I think the company comes with vomit bags when I start.
I know we're running out of time. I just love talking to you guys. You never know where it's going to go. But I have to get some Halloween stuff in. On our show, we do every day what we call a one-call debate. Today's debate that you'll weigh in on is, what is a worse Halloween costume? One that restricts your eating and drinking or makes it difficult to pee?
Well, do you want to see what I've been working on in between calls right now?
Yes, absolutely.
And this one for me.
And peeing. He just said
peeing.
Right,
peeing, right.
Yeah, you haven't even thought about that yet.
Dang it. Every year.
Every year he's the same thing, so really he's really got it. But I'm sewing on
my Superman cape.
The cape right now as we speak. But Stuart is coming. He's going to.
So I'm just not gonna eat anything tomorrow.
And the only way out of it is this zipper. So good luck.
Now you'll know what it's like for a bride on her wedding day. She needs like a team of people to go help her pee.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And no one's gonna want to help Superman at all.
No.
Yeah, just go figure it out. Yeah, all right. See ya.
So you both say it's worse to not be able to pee then?
I'd say it's not being able to pee for sure.
Mine's this costume's a double header. I completely screwed myself over.
Yeah. It's best to wear one of those like fat suits.
Or a ghost. Just cut a hole in the sheet and be the ghost. It's so easy.
I love it. Guys, thank you so much for your time. It's a fantastic album, and I just can't wait till you actually get to roll through again so we can hang out in person. Like, it's more fun to do.
I know.
We love you, dude. We miss you guys.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
Time.
Have a great day.
You too. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.